Hi, good morning. I just want to welcome everyone here to Anywhere Elementary so we can talk about some fundraising opportunities that we have coming up. So I'll just start just by saying that there is definitely a challenge ahead of us. We have noted that one of our campuses has gotten some really amazing technology lately that has contributed greatly to student outcomes and learning. And we, of course, want to provide our students with that same opportunity and the same technology, or maybe even a little bit more updated. So it's up to us. Each campus is in charge of their own fundraising. And so we have a plan and we want to get some input from you today, as well as some more ideas. So we're going to go through kind of what we've thought of and some plans that we want to put in place for the next school year. And then we want to open it up for everyone else as well. So as you know, we are a lighthouse school. We got our certification recently, and we are practicing lots of principles, including synergy, one of the habits of better together. So we had a group of staff members and teachers and a couple parents that came together to think about our vision and our guiding principles as we go into this fundraising 3-year plan. And so when we did that, we thought of our vision and our guiding principles was we want to keep our fundraising in-house whenever possible so that we're not so we're maximizing that profit and getting to keep that money here. We also want to take that opportunity to engage families and students and kind of work in our Title One, but also just our vision is to include and build our community and parents. So with our fundraising, what can we do to also keep building that community? And then we want to have complete transparency within our fundraising. We want everyone to know why we're raising money, what we're doing with the money, where we're at along the process, so that when people choose to pour into our school, that they can trust that their dollars are being maximized and that they're going exactly where we have said and what our intentions are. So complete transparency was really important to our team, and we're excited about that. Again, our goal for fundraising right now is to improve our classroom technology with our student devices and instructional resources. So like smart boards and our one-to-one technology is starting to wear out. We've got to replenish some of those things. And we want our students to be able to have the opportunity to engage in that, even as we are starting to put a little bit more limitations on how we use technology, making sure that we're using it correctly and not overusing it. But if we don't have the right tools in place, we won't be able to do any of that. Okay, so here's our first idea for a fundraiser, and it's our Student Lighthouse Snack Shack. So this is a snack shack that would be ran by our Student Lighthouse team, and we can have other kids come in and take like different months and opportunities that I'll get to. But basically, we'll start off by having the Student Lighthouse help us make an order from our local big box warehouse store, and they'll get to choose the items that we're going to sell. Once we have that, they will create the menu, and we'll help them with the pricing to make sure that we are profitable. Of course, we'll talk about that with them, have a little financial literacy lesson with them. And then they will be in charge of the monthly events at our campus. So once a month, we have our big leader in me assembly, and we do our clubs and we do our buddy classes. And so Snack Shack would be a part of that. And this will replace the snow cone truck that's been coming around, because we know with the snow cone truck, the kids were still spending the same amount of money that they will spend at the Snack Shack, but we weren't really getting anything back from that. And it was hard on our teachers. They're kind of burnt out on it, of collecting the money, taking the kids down, and then kids getting sick and things like that. So what the teacher said is, with the Student Lighthouse Snack Shack, they would like for students to take the snacks home, or only eat one. So there's going to be like a maximum of $10 that the students can bring, and they'll take the majority of it home. It's not going to be as instructionally invasive or as hard on teachers. The kids really do the majority of the work with some supervision. This worked at another school that I was at, and just about every time they opened that snack shack, they had between $800 and $1,000 in profit. They also did this at Field Day, and they did it at one of the Title I nights. Now, I want to be clear and say we're a Title I school. So when we have our Title I nights, we're still going to offer free items. We want to be careful and make sure that everyone gets to participate in those nights and not leave just feeling like it was a money grab. So intentionality with that will be carefully handled. Okay, so our big spring fundraiser, this takes a lot of hands on deck. And so we're excited. We polled the teachers, we asked how they would feel because running something like this in house and not having a company means you get to keep the profit, but it means you have to have some sweat equity from your people. Our PTO president is confident that she can have some help from there. And then we can also utilize like our high school baseball team, high school softball team, some people like that to help us run this day because we will have kids running in our front parking lot, making big laps around, and we'll need people to do lots of jobs that day, including safety. So a color run basically is where kids are doing laps, and then we have that sprayable chalk coming out, and it's a good time. Um, but our parents haven't seen that here. I've seen it at other schools and things. So I think this is one that'll take some time to grow. Once they see how fun it is the first year with the big loud speakers and we're talking on the microphones and we're just making it super cool and interactive with the families, I think it will grow from year to year. I've seen it happen before, so I have no doubt. And this will be a family focused event. So basically, we'll send home an envelope and it'll have all the instructions on the front, and students can pay so much. We're thinking like around $30, and that gets them the t-shirt and the color packet. And then for an extra $10, $15, a parent can run with them. They'll get another color packet. And at the end of the day, we're going to let every student run. They just might not have a shirt, but every student at Anywhere Elementary will be able to participate and go out. Once parents understand what's going on and see it one time, I think we're going to have great success with it. And it's going to be just a fun event. It's one of those big memories. The kids come out just covered in chalk, and we have some dads that come out with leaf blowers and blow the chalk off, and we have a great time out there. So I think that's one that can continue to grow. The first year we'll need to buy a couple things that are reusable from year to year, like a big if you've been to a 5K, like a big starting arch that's a blow up, and some other things just to kind of grab the attention and make it fun. We're thinking about those big men that kind of like fold in the wind, and just some neat things like that. We will also run our concession stand that day. Our student lighthouse will get to be a part of that. So whoever's not running will get to run the concession that day. So and we'll have some extra shirts for sale that day as well. So first year, we're projecting to profit $8,000, and we believe that that can easily grow and become just a very fun piece that we do year after year that families will enjoy. Another really big piece to fundraising for us is with our PTO. Our PTO has been really great about coming alongside of us and sharing what they raise. A lot of their profit does go to our spring carnival, which is free for families to come out. We do a whole bunch of bounce houses and inflatables. We have local businesses set up different games. So that's a good time. So the PTO does save a lot of their profit for that carnival, which is a free event. But they they are also very generous to profit share with us. So one example was that we had some really cool bobcat elephant jackets, so some spirit wear that teachers were really into. And we ran that through the PTO as a PTO fundraiser, and the PTO cut us a check right back for the profit. It kind of works with, as a school, we can only have two large fundraisers, a spring and a fall, and then our student lighthouse can have some fundraisers, PTO can, and we can make some agreements and kind of work through that, or they can buy stuff for us, for the students or teachers. So some ideas that we have so far with the PTO, we have a lot more ideas coming, but the ones I'll talk to you about today are some school branded merchandise. We found at TEPSA recently when I was there, we saw spirit socks, and so it would have like our school logo on it. It was really neat. The PTO always has great luck with t-shirts. They found a place as garden flags. It would be great for right before football season to have our district, logos and all of that on there. And just some more seasonal items. And then, of course, they do their spirit stores. So they are all about donating back what they don't need for the carnival, and for a couple other things they would love. And they are totally on board with, they want their kids, they're the parents here, so they want their kids to have that technology too. So they are looking at doing a lot of little one-off fundraisers and helping us out with building up to our big project. So I love how the library plays into all of this because a library is not what it used to be. It's a media center now, and it's heavy on the technology in the best way. But our media specialist, she already does a spring and a fall book fair, and so when she heard about this big initiative that we were trying to do, she said, "Hey, I usually have some leftover money." And what I would like to do is have my book fairs, buy the things that I need, and then she would like to kind of pilot a lot of this technology that we're looking at with smart boards, get one in the library first and teach the teachers how to use it, so that she's able to help us be ahead. So when we get this technology, eventually the teachers understand the purpose behind it, how to use it, how to maximize it for the best educational bang for their buck, so to say. So again, it's kind of like the PTO. I mean, the library is going to do their own fundraiser, but they're invested in our overall project here of getting that technology in the classroom, and she wants to help us in every single way that she possibly can. So, in addition to our PTO, which technically is open to parents, um, moms and dads, we have a dad's club on our campus, and primarily they have been showing up on Fridays and opening doors and kind of doing like a dance party. But when they heard about this initiative, they had some great ideas, and so one of them was to do a banner fundraiser. This guy's done it before, and he wants to come along and do this for us. Where he basically reaches out to lots of small businesses and makes a big banner that goes in front of our school so they get to advertise. And he's projecting for us that it would be a $1,500 profit, and he would do that annually for us, at least as long as his kids are here, and then he could pass it off to someone else. But I think that's a great way for us to also advertise those community partnerships that really help us beyond just the banner. And we want to display it out where the cars, the front parking lot where the cars come in every day, so they get lots of advertising off of that. We have the perfect spot picked out, so that's going to be a great one-time or once annual fundraiser. So our overall goal was to raise money for technology, and we want to do that by having more fundraisers in-house. But we can't ignore the fact that our fall fundraiser has been really successful year after year, and that is not one we can replicate easily, or probably very well. So we will continue to use our Big Kahuna fundraiser for the fall. Last year we made about $25,000 in profit for that, which is amazing and just really hard to replicate. So we will keep that one with Big Kahuna. We've had a great partnership with them for years, and our parents trust them and they support that fundraiser. So all of that with what we talked about earlier, our Snack Shack color run, the banner program. So we're looking at our in-house fundraisers about $19,000 a year. And that's before any of the PTO or library help. And then on top of that, we'll have our fall Big Kahuna fundraiser still. So we're looking at about $45,000 in fundraising for annually. Okay, and so with so many fundraisers, like I said, we want to be really transparent and have accountability to our community partners, our parents, and our teachers. Our teachers do realize that our school is Title I, and they want to make sure that the kids and the parents that are choosing to spend money on these fundraisers, we're kind of protective of our families here. So we want to make sure that we have full visibility and accountability of what's happening with that money. So one of our teachers had a wonderful idea of making this big tracker for the wall. It kind of reminds me of like what we used to do at church whenever I was younger. So not quite the thermometer, but kind of, something big and visible. Our librarian was talking about using our poster maker and has some good ideas to help us make it to, our overall goal, and just showing where we're at, and then listing the fundraisers on the side, like how much profit was made and what is saved so far, so that when parents come to eat lunch with their kids or come into the campus for different events, that we can show them clearly where we're at, where we're going, and that the money is headed that way. We want to not overwhelm anyone with this initiative, but we want to make sure that we are taking them along for the ride. And so before a kickoff of a fundraiser, one of the teachers said that, she was like, you should make a video before and show them the tracker and say, hey, this is where we're at. this is how much more we have to go. This fundraiser, our goal is to, just transparent conversations so that parents really are in the loop with us and not just blindly throwing money somewhere. Okay, so our implementation guideline is for right now, year one, going into the fall. We're going to go ahead and be ready to launch that snack shack. We're going to meet with those kiddos right at the beginning of the school year, and we're looking at the last Friday of each month to have the snack shack. So we need to have the menu out before that and let the parents know what to expect for that. We already have our dates picked for our color run. That'll be in the spring. Um, and then our banner program, we have a dad that's just going to take off with that and kind of run that for us. So we're really excited about that. And each year we just want to refine that. I said at the beginning, it's going to take some staff buy-in of who can do what. So we need to have some systems nice and clear for them, because I know it frustrates them if we don't have that. And what I'm thinking about is, like, when we have the snack shack, make sure they have the schedule for that ahead of time so it's nice and easy as possible for them. When we do the color run, all our bonus people need to know how they're going to help, like our resource teachers, our non-classroom teachers, our EB and our intervention and all of that are really big on those days. So just making sure that they know the plan ahead of time, so that they're not frustrated with the process. Making sure that the committees are open for people to attend. When we're planning the color run, we're going to post it. Hey, we're meeting to talk about the color run on this day, and anyone who wants to come and give input that day and be a part of that committee can be it. So that's how we plan to increase our participation with our staff and also our community. When we have those PTO meetings, one of the admin is always there to kind of lay that out and ask questions and help get volunteers for that. And then we're hoping just, year 3 and on, that we'll see if the color run kind of runs its time out and it's not as exciting anymore. We can swap it out and we can do something different. If the snack shack, same thing. If parents are worn out on that, we can look for some things to change up a little bit, but overall keeping it in-house and using our student leaders and our staff to run these things is going to help us be more profitable. So our outcomes that we expect are that we're going to be able to increase this technology access for students. Our first goal after year 1 is to be able to update the broken and the lagging one-to-one technology that we currently have. And then in year 2, we're going to start kind of from the top and work our way down. So our campus goes through 4th grade, so they'll be the first ones to get the smart boards. Now, remember, we said the library would have them very first so that she knows the technology and she can roll it out to teachers and help them utilize it in the best way possible. So we'll start with 4th grade, then we'll work to 3rd, 2nd, etc. And we don't want to wait until we have the whole bundle of money to start putting it in classrooms. We do want it in classrooms as soon as possible. So we'll need to be transparent with parents about that as well, and figure out how we're going to show that on the tracker and everything. But I think that there's a great way to do it. We'll talk through our committee and talk about what makes sense. And we'll also share that progress with parents along the way. Hey, look at the new smart boards in the 4th grade classroom, and show children up at the smart board, using the smart board, showing them what it can do, showing them the impact, because I think that's going to be really important for them to see. Well, I really want to thank you for your time today and for listening. When we met as a team, we got really excited about this. We want all the campuses to be equitable, but the responsibility of our campus belongs to our campus. And so we have a good plan, a good beginning plan. It's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of refinement, but we're excited about it. We're really excited. And we want to invite more people to be a part of this process with us. Our staff, our PTO, our community members. We're going to be advertising this. We're going to be letting everyone know the mission that we're on to get our kids here at this campus equitable technology, which is equitable access to education. So thank you for coming. We want to hear from you. So I'm going to go ahead and open up this meeting to questions, ideas, etc. This is your chance to help us out and help us think.